Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Aaron, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the Reminders app using the Getting Things Done method and giving a little bit more context around the advanced features of reminders and how I implement them in my personal life and workflow. So in my last video that I made about getting things done, I talked about how to set up the Reminders app from scratch using Getting Things Done by David Allen and the different lists that I would start with and how to basically just set it up from scratch. And at that end of the video, I teased a little bit of my personal system and I showed some of the different things that I've created, some of the different lists that I've made after having using this Reminders app for a few years now. And I got a lot of feedback from a lot of people. They're interested in hearing more about the different things that I do, the different lists, how to do certain things. And so I figured I'd make a little bit more of an advanced tutorial on how to use the Reminders app with the GTD method. Okay, first just do a quick overview as to what I have. You'll see here on the left, I have an inbox. This is for thoughts that come into my head, put them in the inbox to be processed later. Very simple. It's the first list, the most list that I use out of everything, right? Sometimes this really fills up. Then of course, I've got next actions, projects, waiting for, someday maybe. I got some checklists, got some reference lists, and I got an archive actually I like to have here as well. So I'll go through each one, show you a little bit of them, and then I'll show you some kind of cool features that I like from the Reminders app and the reason why I've used it for so long. So for next actions, these are on my next actions list. I have three main ones, which are personal next actions, magic, which is my current work. That's the next actions for my professional life. YouTube, I consider it a side project. This is my next actions for that. College Pro or CP, that's my old franchise, my old business that I sold. I still have this list here. Soon it'll be in the archive once everything's taken off. Callbacks, people I need to call back, errands I need to run. These are all the lists of items I have that are going to be location dependent too. So if I'm, need something from the hardware store, I'll put that in here and I'll put the location of the hardware store. So whenever I'm driving by it, it'll notify me. Grocery lists, pretty self-explanatory. Groceries are pretty great because whenever you put in stuff, like let's say I put in bananas, it'll actually just bump it right up into the produce section. So it's kind of cool. It actually like automatically organizes myself. So I like that a lot. It's like a smart list. I think it's not a smart list per se. I think it's more as like a grocery list that Reminders app does. So very, very simple. And then before travel, next actions. So these are all my travel lists that I got to do. And then I got some other context related lists, which I'll talk more about in a moment. Projects, all the projects I got going on. Waiting for, I got two here, wait before watching. Sometimes people give me recommendations of what to watch. I'll throw it in here and watch it whenever I, have nothing to watch. And waiting for, people owe me stuff. I lent out a book. They have to pay me back for something like that. I just keep it in here so I don't have to remember. Someday maybe as well, things that are gonna hopefully happen in the future. They're not really necessarily a project or a next action, but could potentially turn into one. So I put this here, ideas and video ideas, reading lists. Gift ideas is a really powerful one. If you don't have a gift ideas someday maybe list, this is a fantastic resource, especially for me with a fiance. I put in whatever I think of something, a gift for someone, I'm like, oh, this would be a really good gift for so-and-so. I put it on this list. And so I'm not gonna show it because I want to keep this list secret, but if I got a birthday or friend's wedding coming up, I've got some ideas. And then wait before buying. I love when I really want to buy something and I don't know if I actually want it or I just want it right now. I'll usually put in this list and see how long it can live in there before I keep thinking about it. So if I put it in here and I forget about wait for before buying, I usually don't buy it and I just delete it. Checklists, very powerful. These are all the checklists I have. So I've got inboxes to clear. These are for my getting things done, weekly review, offline review whenever I'm doing a getting things done review on the plane, for instance, some additional weekly review checklists, a gym bag checklist. If I'm ever traveling, I need a gym bag. Video editing is really nice too. This is just, step-by-step kind of what I have to do when I'm editing videos. And then this is for 75 hard. So I usually use, whenever I'm doing 75 hard, I'll use this list to just track. And then reference, some folders I have, these are pretty great, which is some good recipes, some good quotes, codes to, the garage or something like that. I got to remember. Important links and info. This is a powerful list. If I ever have like an email I'm supposed to email my receipts to, or this is the link that shows me, here, I'll show some examples. Wi-Fi password, how many kilometers I need to rotate to my tires, stuff like that. I also here in the reference folders, I have areas of focus personal, areas of focus professional. I'll show them more about that in a moment. Personal goals, professional goals, and then of course an archive. I like the archive just to keep some lists that I don't want to delete, but I'd like to keep them here for just review. Day 76 is the list of all the food I wanted to eat when I was really craving food during 75 hard. A meat prep, so sometimes when I do competitions for powerlifting, I just, you know, put some checklists in here. And then this was a party I threw. And so just some stuff here that I have. Okay, so that overall is my reminders app, of how I've kind of built it out for getting things done. Now to kind of give a couple of answers to some of the features that I've utilized here. As you can see, how do I make folders? So all these keep it nice and organized, but how do I actually make them? So pretty cool. I'll show you an example. I'll just make a new list, call it example. If I want to make the inbox and example lists a group, I'll just slide this on top of the other, and then basically it creates a new group. And if I want to get rid of this group, I can just take the list out and I can just delete this. So that's how you create folders, is how I leverage that. The second thing I wanted to talk more about is actually sections. So you'll notice if we go back to the before travel next actions, you can see here there are sections, and this is pretty cool. So for this, what I like about this is I use this list every time I have to travel. And so on the top here is the essentials. These are the things that I take every day or every time I go to a trip without fail, pretty much. And then I take, you know, trips ranging from various different types, right? So some are work trips, some are, you know, cottage weekends, going to Florida, going skiing, whatever it is. And so I'll put the essentials on top, and then I'll make a new place. Let's say I'm going to Mexico or something. And then I'll just have more contextual items here. So let's say like sunscreen, right? Something like that. So you can see I have like different sections, and I really utilize this a lot for my areas of focus. So this is my areas of focus: professional, and basically I have different sections. And how to create sections, by the way, I'll use my personal next actions as an example. But if I wanted to create sections, I just go to file, new section, and then you can make a new section, and then you can keep adding them. Areas of focus professional, just to show you, I think areas of focus is a pretty underutilized tool. This is, for me, I have this basically to flesh out every single responsibility that I have in my professional and personal life. Like, and I really try to make it as detailed as possible. Relationships, finances, systems, responsibilities, development, and I kind of have subcategories and different things I'm like responsible for. And this is really good to review like once a quarter. And so areas of focus, it's a little bit more advanced getting things done, but this is something that I really rely on now a lot. And so the sections category on Reminders app is really helpful to separate them. I'll show personal too. I might just kind of hide some, you know, some of the names of the people in my family, but basically I like to keep kind of everything, as you can see, nice and organized: health and wellness, financial, self-improvement, fun, YouTube channel. Like, these are kind of the things that I need to keep focus on. And so reviewing this once a quarter gives me enough to be like, oh, let's add here, or oh, I don't need that anymore. And it gives me a good reminder to like, okay, let's reach out to this person, right? So that is the areas of focus and the sections. Now I want to talk about the smart list. And so smart list is something that I'm sure there's lots of YouTube videos on, like going more in depth about. I'm pretty like new with smart list. The main one is like probably the grocery list from Reminders, but I've been playing with them recently. So these are two right here that I have been playing with. So part of my, just so you know, I'll go back to the personal next actions or magic next actions. Like these actions are next actions, right? They're usually connected with a project that I have here. And one of the things I always do is I always tag my next action. So you can see here under notes, there's tags, and you can add different tags. And this just gives me, I think, the context with each action. And I've made two smart lists basically that I use the most, which is at computer or at phone. So if I'm on my computer and I'm looking for specific actions that are just computer context, I'll click this and it'll have from magic, from YouTube, from personal, from whatever next actions list, but it'll just show me all the actions I can take on my computer. And if I'm on the road, I'm on a subway, I'm on my phone, you know, this is the phone version of that. And you know, you can also search for it too. I have a phone tag. You just click phone and it'll show you in this context too, where I like it because there's different colors. I also have different tags that I use called Big Win. Big win are like the nice big things that I really need to get done. And then there's easy win. So sometimes I'm like feeling really low energy. I'll search up easy win, and you can see here in all the sections, these are all the things that I can just do real quick. It just helps me out. Leveraging tags is really important. And then you can make smart lists like this. And just so you know how I made it was pretty simple. I went like this. Let's say at big win. Let's say we want to make a list that just collects all the big win tags. So you click here, smart list, tags all selected, and we'll just do big win. And then you can, you know, make this whatever one you want. Ooh, big win. Great. Now you have a list like that, and you can put this wherever you want as well. So that's how you make a smart list, and you can get a little bit more complicated with the smart list creation. Let's go back here. You can add different like sections. It has to be within a certain date, time range, priority, flag, location, list. Like I personally don't want to make things super complicated. I just want them to be nice. I just want them to work, and this works for me well. It just collects all the big win or phone or computer or whatever. I think searching for is more than enough too. Like you don't necessarily need these lists. It's just one of those things where they can be very helpful if you utilize them. And so that's it. That's pretty much my getting things done reminders app, a little bit more fleshed out. This is a really good system to use. It syncs right up to your phone. It's really easy. It's intuitive. I like now that they've added an update where there's recently deleted, which is nice. I do like, you know, having an archive for the different lists of myself. These different folders are really cool. All these different things are super helpful when using getting things done. It should be as fluid and easy as possible. And that's something that I think a lot of people forget about getting things done. The purpose behind it, it's not necessarily following the system exactly to a T. It's whatever works for you. And reminders app is really fluid. Like the first video I did was just like how to start, and this is kind of how I've taken it over 2 to 3 years. But it might look different to you. You might have different lists and different options and different folders and different smart lists that you want to do, and how you're leveraging your tasks and your projects. And that's awesome. In fact, if you have any suggestions, anything that can potentially make my list better, make my getting things done method more smooth or more organized, please let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate all the feedback from the previous video that helps me with what kind of content I should create. And I'm really passionate about getting things done. I spend a lot of money on personal coaching with the Getting Things Done official coach. But more importantly, I really like implementing and using it. I always feel really good in my life when the inbox is zero. I've checked all my next actions, I've checked all my projects, and I've kind of reconciled everything. It's like clearing the decks in my mind. And so I love getting things done. I'll make as many videos about it as you guys want. But if there's any other suggestions that you think would be helpful, please let me know. Thanks, like always, for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have a chance to like and subscribe, that'd be really appreciated. It really helps me out a lot.